What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of my Gran Turismo 02 Hero Racing Series. Now, today we are driving the Group 3 cars on the Red Bull circuit, or the Red Bull Ring circuit, and we're going to be driving, at the time, the fastest car on the course, which was the Aston Martin Vantage Group 3 car, whatever it was called, I don't remember, but the Aston Martin. And while we're watching our qualifying, I just want to give a small-ish update on the Supra, since I don't have a video out this week about it, and I wanted to give a small update about it. So, what's coming in for it? So I have ordered engine mounts for my 2J to the Mark III Supra, because apparently the 86 to 88 have different mounts than the 89 to 92. So apparently that's what it is. So I've ordered that from Drift Motion, but it's been almost 3 weeks and they haven't even shipped it yet. So that's that. I don't even have mounts for that yet. I still need to order a engine harness to adapt to my Haltech ECU. I ordered a forward-facing manifold, so I don't have the dumb heat-soaked over-the-top manifold that the GEs come with. Also, I need to order a header or a exhaust manifold, not a turbo manifold, because like I mentioned in my previous video, I'm not going turbo right away. I want to go NA this year just so I can get the car running right out of the way. I also have a radiator on the way. It is shipped. It's on its way. I don't know when it's going to come in, but hopefully it'll be here within a week or so. But yeah, so the main parts are on the way. I do have my transmission at the transmission shop still, so I'm waiting on that to see what it's going to be to fix that still. I do need to order the shifter relocation kit, but the kit I have to get is very specific, because since it's not actually a part of the back of the CD09, it actually goes on the top plate where the CD09 part is, like where no one, holy crap, everyone upstairs is making a bunch of noise. Jeez, everybody's moving upstairs. But yeah, so there's a bunch of parts coming in, and yeah, so I haven't even touched the car. I've like looked at it here and there, but I've just been ordering parts, waiting on them so far. Now, to start the first-ish race of the episode, I was waiting on a phone call from my buddy for about an hour, so that's why I was doing qualifying for almost an hour. And as you can see, with me banging off the third gear rev limiter, and I answered my phone, and I had to exit the race. And with that being done, that's what I meant by first-ish race. So this is technically the second race of the episode, but it's really the first race of the episode. So we're gonna start off by being in 5th place in this race. The other race we were in 3rd, which is pretty awesome, but we're in 5th realistically in this race. And yeah, so we're gonna start off by just dive bombing right behind the Aston Martin, taking not the greatest line, and I should have got out of the way of the HKS GTR here, but I don't, and I tap them, and it kind of slows me down, letting the Aston Martin in 6th pass by me. And for some reason, the Aston Martin, as we approach the heavy braking zone on the uphill, brakes way too early. Like, he broke way before the double pylons. I'd brake a little early for that corner, but not that early. And also, as I come around the corner, I get absolutely pummeled by 3 cars coming over that turn. That corner there was probably the one corner I had the hardest time getting right. I still can't get it right, because I brake either way too early, or not. Either I brake way too early, or just not enough, and I can't get a proper exit out of the corner. I just can't figure it out. I don't know why. I don't know, I just can't get an exit out of that corner properly. It's kind of tough. I don't know. I guess I gotta get a little more practice. And as we come into, I think, the 5th corner of the race, I dive really hard. If I turned a little bit more to the left as I was diving in, I probably would have made that turn properly. Or if I trail braked a little bit more, I could have got that turn like done nice. But I didn't, and I absolutely murdered the guy. And as we go around the corner, previously I do tap the guy in the blue car. I don't know what it is, but I tap him, I send him off course. I didn't realize that the first or like the 3rd time I watched it. I saw it the 4th time I rewatched this to see why I got that penalty. And that's why I thought it was because I got too close to the GTR, but I was like, I didn't hit him, I didn't get him off course. But whatever, it's okay. We're 9th place. We did lose quite a few positions, but we're going to try to fight on back our positions some sort. Even though we have a 4-second penalty, we're going to have to serve coming up after the uphill brake zone. But again, here I brake a little bit too early for this turn, just because I didn't want to kill the guy in the Lambo and gain even more of a penalty that I'd have to serve, because at that point, if I had to serve more of a penalty, I probably would have quit this race as well, and that would have been pretty much the end of it. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to keep trucking on until the braking zone. So we come up, we brake just a little bit too early. I probably should be braking just a little bit more past the double pylon and not at the double pylon, because that was just too early. And especially when this car has decent brakes, not the best. I think the Genesis has the best brakes, but yeah, I should be braking a little bit later, but it's okay. We'll move on. And pretty much after that, nothing else happened. I was so far behind everyone because of that penalty that was pretty much all that happened. So we're going to forget about that race, and we're going to use it as experience to learn the course more. So we're going to jump into the second, third-ish race of the day, and we start in 6th. So not the best position yet, but not the worst one we had either this episode yet. But we do get like let off from the, like walked away from the beginning of the race for some reason. But with the brakes, we kind of get right back into it. I do get on the power quite early, not crazy, but early enough to get some power out of it and get some traction instead of like absolutely screwing the race and losing anything from it. As we move up into the uphill part-ish of the course, I do brake a little bit too early once again, and the Aston Martin dives right in, and I guess I can't get mad about it. He should have gave me a little bit more room, but I guess it is what it is. He didn't really hit me, and I kind of gave him more room than I should have. So that's kind of half my fault, half not, but whatever. But we're gonna start moving down the track, and this Aston just goes crazy in the Martini. I really do like that livery. I was gonna go look for a livery, but I was too into just recording. And as we come into one of the hairpins, we go right on the outside of that Aston Martin, going right past him. Like, he didn't even know what happened. I don't know how he got such a little speed out of that. I guess he must have spun or something. But I was able to pick up so much more speed and go right past him there. Thankfully, we do get some SR back in this race because we lost so much from last race. So it's kind of helping me out just a little bit. As we're still in 6th position, we gained our beginning or our grid start. We have that back. This corner, the second last to last corner, I got it perfectly or I screwed up heavily. Like, there'd be times when you come out the second last corner, I'd fly right onto the other rumble strip and I'd lose all momentum and I'd get a penalty. But then sometimes I did like there where I did pretty decently and got it done well. This Aston Martin takes the corner real wide and nails me coming on the outside. But I guess, you know what? I kind of gave back the favor for what he did on me the first lap. Or at least I think it was him. I paid backwards on the first lap where he didn't give me any room, so I'm not going to give him any room. And since I didn't get any penalty, I take that as a win. Now, for the final lap, nothing else really happened, but we're on a fight with the same Aston Martin. I thought, because of the lag, he flew off course, and I was like, okay, I got this 8th place in the bag now, I'm fine. Or I got the 7th place in the bag. But yeah, it just lagged. He was actually right beside me, and we're going to do a little bit of fight for this last lap. Here I brake just a little bit too early. I could have broke a little bit later, would have got it, but I did get a bad exit out of the corner, and he does kind of run off with it slightly. He does get a way better exit, so he does get a little bit away from me. There is someone behind me, but honestly, with him being a second and a bit away from me, I wasn't too worried about him. And in this corner, I tried to brake as late as I could to get right beside him, but as I saw that I wasn't getting close enough to him, I knew the only way I was going to be able to pass him would be in either the second last or the last corner of the race. Especially since here I do make a couple mistakes. I'm in not the proper gear, and I'm just trying to chase him. So basically what I was doing was I'm trying to plan where I'm going to make this attack. I do mess up that corner there though, but the whole point was I was trying to just go as fast as I could, taking racing lines and just planning out when the perfect time was. Now, as we come into basically the second last corner of the race, I kind of brake a little bit later than he does, and I get right beside him, which I thought was the right spot, but he does cut me off right at the last second. But here I was like, it's now or never, and as he screws up that corner going a little bit too wide, I take it right from him, and we get 7th place. So we do end up losing a position in the race, but we do kind of make it a little bit exciting at the end of the race. So I guess that I'd rather take that than just having a 6th place stroll. Now, coming into the final or 4th, 3rd-ish race of the episode, we start in 4th place. So that's not, again, this is the second best position we got of the day so far, if I don't count the first-ish race we had. Now, right off the rip, I get a way better launch off the Peugeot, or whatever it is, and I get a crazy dive in on the first corner, but I do mess it up a little bit, and I do let the guys in first and second get away just a little bit, but since nothing else really happens in this part of the race, I am going to skip ahead. Excuse me. I'm going to skip ahead after the first corner after the second corner, which I take absolutely terribly. And yeah, we're just going to skip ahead because nothing literally happens. I run away from the guy in the Peugeot, and I just try to catch up with the guys in first and second. So, as I said, this is the beginning of the 3rd lap, so we just kind of skip the first-ish and second laps of the race. Coming into the second corner, right behind the Hyundai Genesis, and the way I was thinking, or the way I was planning this race was, I still have basically 3 laps. I guess 2 3/4 of the lap to go, or of the race to go. it wouldn't make sense for this early on in the race to start fighting the Genesis. If I was going to fight him, it would be on the fourth, fourth-ish to last lap of the race. But since we still had about 3 laps to go, I decided that I'm not going to fight him. I'm going to try to let him try to catch up with the Viper. I'm going to stay right behind him the entire time until we get closer and closer. Hopefully the Viper, since he's running away with it, might get a little bit nervous, something might happen, and he gets a penalty, which will save us. But all I'm trying to do now is stay right behind him, take as good a line as I could. I'm not going as fast as I should be going, but I'm just trying to take a decent line, trying to stay as close as I can to the guys, just in case something does happen. And that's pretty much what happens. I break a little bit, we get right behind the Genesis here. I'm trying not to get too close to him. If it was like any later in the race, I would have made a move there, but I didn't. And as you can see here, the Viper ends up getting a penalty. So my plan literally worked exactly how I wanted to go. So the way I'm going to do this here, I'm just going to try to get as close as I can to the Genesis at this point, so that whatever happens to the Viper, we can just make a move on him. Or at this point, it's 4th lap, we have 2 laps to go. But with him having a penalty and we're so close to each other, I don't really want to worry about defending or working with him. I kind of just want to go for goal at this point and just try to pass everybody. But in the position I am right now, I'm just a little bit too far to make any sort of move, so I kind of have to make my way up the rank. And as I come into the second corner, I do make a little bit of a mistake and spin around. But the good thing about this is, since the Viper only got about a half-second penalty, he only gets slowed down just enough that he's right in front of the Genesis, which works out for me better than the Genesis getting past them, because with the Viper being a faster driver and the Genesis being a pretty decent driver as well, they're able to fight each other now, and I'm able to catch back up with them, which is exactly what happens. As you can see how close I'm getting to them. And you can see how much closer I get after we go through the corner here. Me in third, trying to take a decent line and get a good exit out and powering right through. And these guys make a little bit, break a little too early, make me get a mistake, but I do get a good exit out of it because of that, and I get to pass right by the Genesis. And I thought I had enough power to get past the Viper, but I don't really. But I do try to take the inside. Him being out, I just want to like shout out this guy in the Viper. He was like the cleanest driver I've ever gone against, and he was just so aware of his surroundings that, you know what, shout out to this guy. I'm not the greatest driver, I'm not the cleanest, but this guy, like, I absolutely enjoy driving against him or racing against him. As we come for the final lap into the first corner, I see that the Viper is going in on defensive, so I said screw that, I'm just going to try to go as offensive as I can, and I tried to do a cutback kind of on him, but that was a very, very poor decision, because that is basically the reason why I couldn't compete for first place anymore. I should have took a proper line and stayed right behind the Viper, and I would have been able to keep on fighting for that first position. But now that he's so far away and that the Genesis is so close to me, I have to defend for second place, because at this point I was thinking, why would I try to risk attempt going for first when I'd rather just take second and not get dropped into third? Because I know if I tried to attempt to go fast enough to catch the Viper, like if you watch now, he's like 3 seconds ahead of me almost. There's no point. I'd rather just defend, hold my position, and keep the second place. I'd rather have second and third at this point. So the way I'm looking at it, I don't see there's a fourth place, because the Viper is too consistent and I didn't want to lose it. So I'm just trying to stay as defensive as I can, staying on the inside as much as I can, just trying to give that Genesis nowhere to go on the course. I'm trying to make this Aston Martin as big as it possibly can be, taking the inside lines everywhere I can. Here I kind of messed up, don't take the inside, but thank God he messed up and wasn't able to clinch off that opportunity. But he's kind of far away, and I even go semi-defensive here. I don't go fully defensive. I'm on the middle-ish inside, and it does throw me offline a bit. And coming into the final corner, I 150% thought that was a penalty. I thought I threw the race away in that corner, but for some reason, I don't get a penalty. If I was the guy in the Genesis, I would have been a little pissed off about it, but I'm not the guy in the Genesis. I'm in the Aston Martin, and I came second in that race. So I do end up gaining 2 positions out of that, which is pretty awesome. And yeah, I guess 2 episodes in a row where the video starts off pretty rough, and I get to pull it back and gain decent positions, or I end up doing pretty decent in the races. Here I just wanted to give a shout out to the Viper. I don't know if I say anything about him. I think I just say good race, and then he comes back with a GG, and it is what it is. But yeah, that's the end of this episode. That's the episode for today. Today's Friday, so go enjoy your Friday. Don't watch too much YouTube. Go do something. I know it's a pandemic, but whatever, try to do something. But anyways, with that being said, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and see you guys next time.